We're about to connect. So all right, we're connected.
Mm-hmm.
All right, greetings everyone. Welcome to the BoombapTribe. This evening, we are interviewing the incredible MC, Aset. She is
Thank
here
you.
sharing and conducting this interview with myself. Isis, please share a little background about yourself. First of all, your contact information, like on social media platforms, where producers or fellow MCs can get in contact with you.
Yeah.
We'll share some of that information to start it off.
Okay. Well, my sister Aset, and I come from New Jersey. You know, I'm big about hip hop, and also you can find me on Instagram and Isis on and Facebook, and just simply type in Isis Aset, and you can find me. And if you need to contact me, most definitely contact me, and we'll discuss business and we'll get this on.
All right, sounds good. Now, Isis, do share, what was your history in hip hop? What brought you into hip hop, and what inspired you to actually start to MC?
Hip hop is just a part of my bloodline. Music in general, it's just a part of my bloodline. So it was already destined. So it was even already mentioned, while I was a baby and before I was a baby, and it was also signs, but I just love hip hop, everything of hip hop, and then I started rapping since I was 12 years old, and and for 8 years now, I've been rapping for 8 years, ever since I was 12 years old, and I never stopped ever since that day, and that was July 31st, Monday or Wednesday, but I fell in love with it, and I remained dedicated and loyal to hip hop, to the original ways.
Nice. Now you even know the date you got into it. That's good. Some people don't even remember the date. That's good. All right. So what was the first song, right, in hip hop that you were inspired by, that you said, you know what, I want to do that. I want to MC? Well, do you remember the first song that you fell in love with that really inspired you to go forward?
I'm not sure if I remember the first song, but I do remember, the first rappers, that really made me, just go crazy over hip hop. And that was people like Cannabis, Cool G Rap, and Killer Priest and Busta Rhymes, and especially in the beginning. You feel me? I looked towards them and they just blew my mind.
Okay, nice. So, yeah, I remember Cannabis for many years, and his new album is dope, by the way. So,
yes.
Real dope. All right, so answer this for me.
Yeah.
What do you have a message behind the music you put out? Is there a message you're trying to convey to the people who listen?
I surely do. Number one, my number one sole purpose is to simply try to make hip hop a better place. And by making that a better place, that's and that starts with your mind. And a lot of us are in love with hip hop, and we share this community. And that's just first starts with us. In order to make some type of community better, we have to make the minds better, and that's what it is. So through my music and through my songs, I rap about everything, worldly things, through all spectrums, I can relate to anyone with any lifestyle, logically and through experience, and I just want people to have fun. I want people to most definitely have fun, to not be so tight in their ways, at the end of the day, hip hop was created to, for us to express ourselves and for it to be fun, so just like this, I'm hardcore boom bap, right? 100%, but I don't reject trap, because that is where I always, of course, we go to the origins and I rap like that, but I still do what's the generational, because, it's what's now, and everything is in the now and everything, but, it's good to continue to move everything forward, and without putting too much things in a box, just do you.
True. I hear that. All right, so what song have you recently wrote or actually laid down on tracks that meant the most to you? Which out of all your songs out right now has the most meaning for you?
Mm, I'll say it's not that new, and it's a few to be honest. But one thing that popped into my mind was Monks and Sinners, and that's produced by Devlon, which is my producer. We've been doing this for years now. He's out in the UK, London. It's called Monks and Sinners. It's out on Real Rap Family channel. Shout out to Morbin and B, and it's out on Paca the Plug channel. And I like, it's just, monks and sinners. I grew up with monks and sinners, literally. And I just think that means a lot to me because, again, I've seen both worlds. I've seen the world of the discipline and the world of the undisciplined and unhinged,
That's facts. That's facts. That's true. This world does have both spectrums in it. And for a lot of us, we grew up surrounded by both. So,
yes,
speaking about it and embracing that reality can also help us grow, and expand our consciousness, because sometimes we look at things just one way and not realize that, there's wisdom in the sinner just as much as there's wisdom in the monk. So we forget that, what I'm saying? Because people in the street sometimes have a different kind of wisdom that could save your life compared to what a monk may give you. And we can't discredit either one, because they both are just as valid and just as important to our growth and transformation. So that's definitely true. Definitely true. So moving forward in 2022, what do you see? What would you like to accomplish in this year?
Well, me and my brother Hines and all, I would like to accomplish more exposure for me and him, and like what we're doing in the whole foreign shooters, Also, I'm a producer as well. I want to produce for so many more artists. I produced for 7 artists so far. My producer name is Dulu and everything. I produced for 7 artists so far, but I want to continue to produce for more. But of course, more exposure for my music in general, for myself too. But I appreciate the loyalty and genuine from people. I wanna see me and Hines and Devlon and Morbin and B and Hebrew Chow and grow. I just want to see us grow and our eyes on us, and so we can show the world what we can do. And then I'll do humbleness. I'm just very skillful, talented, and whatever it's called, whatever. I'm very much that, and I mean, and I want the world to see that, and I do this as a skill, and I love. I don't do this out of any negativity, but I'm so down with it. Man, if any, it's like this hip hop, baby. If you want to call me out, just do it. We can do it. And that's for fun. No disrespect, but I just love this hip hop thing. Yeah, let's do it. And I'm here, let's do it.
That's facts. Now, speaking of that, here in next month, here in Florida, in the Tampa area, we're doing the first annual underground hip hop festival here. So for anybody out there, if y'all want to come down, want to get on, want to perform, whatever the case, let us know, and I'll tell you who to contact and to communicate with to make that happen, because we're trying to really bring more awareness to the underground artists and show our love for the underground artists, because the underground artists usually are what is actually causing the change and the transformation within the mainstream. So a lot of underground artists do influence mainstream more than mainstream gives credit to, but don't get it twisted. They are listening to a lot of underground artists. And I know people listen to Aset, but they may not ever give credit, but you best believe they're listening. So, shout out to Brother Sidney Portier, DJ Mega, for putting this event together, and Gasface Records. So yeah, let your people know if they want to come down. It's February. Yeah. It's in February. We're gonna have it here, for all the underground artists. All right.
I most definitely spread that word down, and hopefully the next one, I most definitely would love to try and perform.
Yeah, definitely, because we're trying to do this every year from here on out. To keep that exposure alive, because underground artists have to look out for underground artists. No one's gonna do it for us. There's some of us may get mainstream attention and rise up out of the underground, But if we don't look out for each other, not a lot of other people will. So we got to start doing things like this to promote each other. You know what I'm saying? Help each other and things like that. So just keep that
I
in mind,
agree.
everybody. All right. So what would you like to tell people who are up and coming, new on the scene? What message would you give these new artists, you know, that you really want them to understand before they really come into the scene of boom bap or underground hip hop or whatever? What message can you share with them? Because they're starting out. So just
Yeah.
keep track of when you first started out.
When I
What words of wisdom can you share with them?
To try to that first feeling that you feel when you do hip hop and you start rapping, always try to capture that moment, because sometimes it most definitely will fade from you, because when you start to grow in hip hop and you realize that this is much more of a business more than anything. It's love in here. Well, it's love in what you have for hip hop, but it's it's also, again, hip hop is what you make it, and your life is what you make it. But I would just say that have that love, capture that love, and always remember that love that you have for in the beginning, and try to carry that with you. Always remember your reason. I'm only going to say the same thing everyone else before me said, because it's only the truth. Just always try to remember why you do it for, love it, figure out the business, study the business. That's the most important thing, and to try to communicate with people, network with people. That's the main thing. Build great relationships with people, and try to understand that you have your own opinions, but what you say can travel with you. It's best to sometimes just be a little bit silent sometimes, not to compromise your own integrity, but like just to know to be quiet on certain opinions, maybe, because everyone is looking at you. You don't want to offend anyone, and it's not that you're biting your tongue exactly, but sometimes you do, so it's a good thing to do. Just know that, like, it's different in here. And also just know that rappers is funny. They're very fickle nowadays, and well, they always were, always will
Right.
be. Just keep that in mind, and don't put your emotions too much into it, and know what you want from this, and just continue to aim for that destination. And that's it. Don't just have network with people. Remember that love you have. Don't get too much involved in it, because a lot of rappers is fickle. A lot of people aren't consistent with each other, and again, a lot of rappers are only just looking for the rapper that they feel popular at that moment, and it's not going to be consistent. It's not going to always be love at, but also don't take that serious. Just continue to keep going. Remember your love and build your brand, build your brand, build your brand. And also, if you're upcoming, invest in a home studio. That's the best thing. Invest in a home studio. It doesn't make too much sense to go out to other studios, pay $40 an hour, $50 an hour, $70 an hour, whatever it is. If it works for you, it works for you. But the best route is to build a home studio and to build relationships. Just like this, I have my own producer. Definitely, we've been doing this and Hebrew Child. We've been doing this for a minute. And then I'm developing strong relationships with other producers, like Hines and everything. Develop relationships, and also be wise in the business, and always try to learn about the business as well. Simply.
That's facts. Shout out to Hines. I know he's tuning in. But yeah, that's definitely true. And something you said that's very key that I like to repeat. I'll just say like this: silence is golden, silver is speech. Sometimes we talk too much and don't listen enough. Listening can be key to your development and growth, especially as an artist, because remember, there's others who did this before you. There's others who opened the trails and burned the roads for us to walk through. Sometimes we got to listen to them a little more and not come in all big-headed, thick-headed, like we did hot shit, because you could be hot 1 minute, you could be doo-doo the next. Always remember that, all right? So that's true. Now, another key thing you said, always be willing to build relationships. I think too many times people stick, they be loners, or they just think they're too big-headed to work with other people. But you never know, when you work with other people, it may bring out a hidden talent that you have inside of you because of that You know what I mean? That relationship you build with that person, they may motivate you and open up some doors within you to bring your talent to another level. So always be consistent on developing relationships and working on yourself. Always do that. All right. So besides MCing, what other aspects of hip hop were you attracted to? DJing, well, you said producing, so we already know that. But were you attracted to any other elements of hip hop?
The art, in the beginning, for all of my songs, I would make my own artwork, like my art cover, on Real Rap Family channel and everything. And now I'm fortunate enough to connect in with cover artists and everything to do the cover art for me and all. But the art, in every, it's just the art, the the look of it, the look to everything, even just the writing behind it, like like hip hop, it goes into it goes into everything, hip hop, of course, as just as a music, it's just multiple things, so I'll just say the art to it, not too much of the fashion, to be honest with you, but I'll just say the art, the cover artwork and all, the videos, the film, how they film the videos, that's also that's what I'm getting into. And also shout out to Juju Ferdinandi. He's French. Sorry if I butchered his last name, but me and him, we're working on a lot of things too. He's into film, and also we're incorporating a lot of things too. So, and I'm into the film part of as well, just all of the aesthetic and all the looks, all of that part, 100%.
Cool. Nice. Now, next question. When it comes to emceeing, putting your rhymes and things together, now this is a message, you're sending a message to those who are learning the art of rhyming, right? What would you say they should focus on? Like, should they focus on their wordplay? Should they focus on building more vocabulary? What do you think is really important when it comes to emceeing? What could you share?
I say, like, starting off where you are, simply starting off where you are, and whoever you see, are influenced by, not to compare and all, but see what you love really is, see what this really is, and search around, if that is if you feel like you need to develop more of a stronger vocabulary, then by any means, go ahead and do it, and just to define how you really feel. Because hip hop is a build off of originality. And a lot of times, some people can copy of other people's words, so their thought process are the same. Just figure out how you genuinely feel, try without all the influence, even though it's hard because it's everywhere, but like, just figure out how you feel, figure out what this is that you love, and figure out how you want to maneuver in this, it's all up to you.
True. Now, what was your most challenging moment or time throughout your years in hip hop so far? What's been the most challenging thing you found?
I mean, when you realize that it's more business than skill and talent, even though the skill and talent matters, but when you realize it's way more business, and not that that's where it falls, but business is very sneaky. It can get tricky. It doesn't even stick to the paper sometimes, So it's like when you realize that it's more other than what you think it is, but other than that, nothing else really. You just grow with it. You acknowledge it. Now you know what it is, and now you just figure out how to maneuver and do you. Oh, and also one thing is, honestly, it's just finding out how rappers are. They just don't really stick to the script. I don't know. It's just different. Like it's like it's a lot of egotism, and but it's cool. It's not even a bother. It's like daily life situations.
All right. True. Now, what was the highlight of your career so far? What's the thing that sticks out the most, that you're the most proud of so far?
I think just always continuing to be consistent, always continuing to keep looking for more, always come. It was a point where I always networking every single day, networking, finding the people that I find, not just like using the internet for what, just to simply network with these artists. That's, a highlight in my career that I see, and shout out to Morbid B, being on his channel. It just, it made me more happier because it was more exposure that come about that, and through Morbid B, I met like, Heinz, which is a valuable person to me, it's my big brother simply, so I that's something that I'm proud of. That's like a highlight in my career.
True. So how many projects are you working on this year, and what do we have to look forward to from Aset this year?
I have so many projects, it blows my mind. But one thing, and I just again, I just finished Eye of Isis with Heinz and everything. I just finished that. We're about to drop that on all digital platforms, and we have so much more coming out. I don't even know if I should speak on it. I don't know if you want to, but like, just know it's a lot of great promotion to come out of this too. And it's just a great album, and I recommend everyone to go check it out once they have a chance to. And also what I'm working on was finished really with me and Mike Murphy. We've been working this since last year for months and all, but it's called Gin Isis of the Mic. And we're just figuring out when to release that. So that's one thing that is coming to drop. One other thing is called Hourglass 2. That's a feature album of, obviously just featuring multiple artists and all. And I'm producing everything of that. Like all of the beats are made by me. And that's I can't figure out when that's going to come. I don't know the date for that and all. Then I also have a joint with Sick Rick and everything. We're having something like this was all of this was talked about last year, So I'm just going through. I'm sticking with the script, because I keep my word, So me and him, we have a little EP coming on. That's coming on. Also, before Eye of Isis, I dropped an album called Sword Assassins, which was a collab joint with me and Nonchalant Lise. Shout out to Nonchalant Lise, and I produced most of the album. And shout out to Morbid B. He produced a track on there and everything called glorifying, and everything. And also shout out to him so much for that. Also, Hebrew Chow, he produced a song on there. He produced he produced 3 songs, yes, on there. Shout out to Hebrew Chow for that. And everyone can go check that out. That's on YouTube as well. On Real Rap Family channel and everything. And also, it's a lot of things going. Also me and Heinz are working on ISIS too. Also, I have my own thing with me and Devlon called Lampshade Chronicles too. That's something that me and we dropped like a while ago and everything. It was of 12 songs and everything. Me and Devlon. That's me and Devlon stuff. And then we have basically 2 guest feature producers on there. But just know so very much. It's a lot that's going on. It's many songs. Like overall, I have like around like 11 albums so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're busy, very busy this year. That's good. Always be busy.
Definitely.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I see your brother Heinz over here said that you also play the drums. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Ever since I was 9 or 10 years old, I've been playing the drums, and drum set, and it's not like I'm very like well at it, not being conceited and everything, When shout out to my cousin Jabril, he instilled that passion into me,
Nice. Good. All right, so female MCs. Let's talk about that real quick. What was the first female MC that influenced you?
I'm not gonna front. It was Little Kim.
All right.
Shout out to Little Kim. I love her. Very much. I very much. It's just the hardcore grittiness that she had. I loved it. That's what I got. Like that I looked towards her. That hardcore. That grittiness. I just loved it. Just like, oh man, it just go crazy. But then after that, overall, my favorite. If it was to be for female MCs, I gotta say Queen Latifah, man. Like, come on, she was in the 80s having a flow like that, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And she's from Jersey. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah. What is it? East Orange? She from?
Newark.
That's right, Nora Gary. Well, she's
Yeah.
I seen her in concert a few times when I was younger back in the day. So
Oh, wow.
she's always been legendary, and she
Heck
got
yes.
mad skills and more skills than people realize.
Heck
She can
yes.
flow. She's nasty with the MCing. She could sing, and she got a
Hmm.
lot of talent. You know, she's an
She's a
actress.
triple threat.
Yeah, people, don't forget. Shout out to Queen Latifah. She'll
For
always,
real.
to me, she'll always be one of my favorite MCs. I mean, I listened to her when she just one of her first tracks before she even put out an album. There was this one song, I can't remember the name of it right now, but she uh
Mm.
she blew up with that one track in the underground scene, and then that's when her album came out and she took off even more. But I saw her, Public Enemy, who else? It was another group there. But anyways, yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
back in the days. I'm just reminiscing for a quick
No,
second.
that's cool. That's cool.
All
I
right, so
love it.
now who are your overall who are your favorite top MCs? I don't ask for top fives because that's subjective. Everybody likes who they like, but who are
Yeah.
your favorite top
Hmm.
MCs?
I say Cannabis for sure. Killer
Mhm,
Priest. Cool G Rap. You know, Tragedy Gaddafi.
mhm.
You know, uh, like you feel me? It's few more. Like it's like I could come across a song tomorrow, but like, dang it, why didn't I say this person name? It's a
Yeah.
lot.
It's always that's why I always ask people because your favorites now can always change. You're gonna add people, you know what I mean? That's always gonna be
Yeah,
changing around because there's so much music, old and new, that it's gonna always change. You know what I mean? But there's always ones that stick out in your head, like, yeah, those people right there, they'll always be legendary to me. You know what I mean?
literally.
So yeah, yeah. Like
Shout
my favorite of all time, of course, to me is KRS-One and Rakim because that's the
Oh,
time I came up in. See, I got into hip hop literally in '79 after I heard the first Sugar Hill Gang record. But when I really got involved was '81 as a b-boy. That was my thing. Breaking was
mhm,
my passion, right? DJing was next.
I see.
So yeah, so as a DJ, we look for the sounds, we look for the lyrics, things like that. And at that time, Run DMC was big, all that. So, that's what we knew. But when KRS-One and Rakim hit, it just hit differently and changed ever since then. You know what I mean? And then in the 90s, Wu-Tang, of course, Mobb Deep, you know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
Coogee Rap was always one of my favorite.
Heck
But then
yeah,
there's
definitely.
some groups that people sleep on, like, Tribe Called Quest. A lot of people know them, but Tribe
Oh,
was nasty when they first came out.
oh,
And when they was out for a while, they was the
that's
shit.
a
So
big
was
fact.
yeah. So
Yeah,
was
Q-Tip, he was in New Brunswick, like years ago and everything, he like my father seen him and everything, he went crazy, it's shout out to Q, and rest in peace to Fife Dog, man, but it's crazy. My father, he also recommended me to listen to, I think, I forgot, but one of the first albums and everything for the production side, for me to become a better producer. He sends me certain albums to listen to or whatever. You just like the Dr. Dre album just came out. But like, yeah, but like, man, shout out to A Tribe Called Quest, man, 100%.
there's the shit. Tribe, De La Soul. A lot of people sleep on De La because they look like new age hippie dudes. Them dudes lyrically, they used to
No,
have to
for
dumb
real.
down their lyrics for people to understand what they were saying. That's how far they were with their lyrics. They used to
That's
literally
a
dumb
fact.
it down just for people to understand some of what they were saying.
I
And
agree. And Camp Blow too. Like
yeah,
that their flows was just like it's like water. Like it's just unbelievable how their flows was. It was just that's effects too as
yeah,
well. Like it was just different. It was like I don't even understand it now. Like that's how it's still I don't complain about the change, but just see the transformation to now and how their flows was. It's just almost like knowing it almost seems magical in a sense.
yeah. Listen, a lot of people slept on Camp Low when they were out. Of course, they all knew Lucchini, right? But there was a
Yeah,
lot of tracks on their album that people slept on, like completely slept on. And I don't know if you
that's
ever
how I
heard of
go.
I don't know if you ever heard of Trends of Culture. But if you remember
Nah.
them, all right, go
No.
check them out. They had but their whole album was nasty. But they had this song called "Off and On." You can see it on YouTube, right? Trends of Culture is called "Off and On."
Okay.
Go listen to their whole album. They were a real slept on group back in the days, but
I just wrote
they're
that
nice.
down.
Yeah, and it's Trends with a Z at the end. Trends of Culture.
Trends of Culture up and okay.
Off and On is
Off
the name
and
of the
on.
song. But then listen to the whole album if you get a chance to, because they had their flow was nice too. It was different than a lot of other people. All right. So any closing words you have for anybody that's gonna listen or watch this in the near future? Anything you would like to say to anybody that is gonna tune in the future?
Just stick with me. I love what I do very much. And I'm gonna do most definitely more, branch out into more, just like this. Me and Juju for the Nandi for we're working on a film as well, and the book. One called the Warrior with the Deepest Soul, which is also branching off to be a Freestyle Friday every series and everything. So check me out every single Friday, which I will be dropping a freestyle every single Friday, of course. And we are on our season 1. We just put out episode 3, which last Friday. So just just check for me, and I'm always going to branch out to many other things. I'm gonna be behind the scenes and in front of it. So just I would appreciate everyone, and I appreciate anyone that is tuning in now and that will be. I appreciate you all, honestly, and I'm only going to work on myself to be better, as I hope that you all do too, as we all should do as a whole.
That's right. And I appreciate you coming on the show. And of course, sometime later in this year, we'd love to have you back on here just to do like a early time of the year and towards the middle time of the year to see, what I'm saying, where you at, how things change and everything else. So I appreciate you. Much love to you. And
much love.
Thank you for tuning in. And all of y'all.
Shout out to Heinz.
Yep. And all y'all listen to the wonderful messages Aset share with y'all tonight. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Peace. Salvation unto you all.